This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
The glamour of the Melbourne Cup also spread to Tasmania. Fashions on the field dominated today's large-scale event at Rest Point, with the new marquee sparking a fresh era for the Racing Carnival's local festivities.
It's the newest Melbourne Cup marquee here in Hobart, teeing off on a sunny day for the race that stops the nation.
What's great about this is if you're at Melbourne or Sydney, you cannot move. This is wonderful. It's relaxed, casual, and hopefully we're going to win some money.
The big screen keeping the punters on their toes as the barbecue satisfied the hungry.
Just had a great meal and we're just about to go and look at the form guide and try and pick a few for the afternoon.
So far not very good. We're a bit behind on the bets.
Some willing to keep their options open as anticipation grew for the big race.
I have actually backed about 6 horses, but my best result will be Marmalade.
More than 200 enjoying sun on the lawns as the more refined ladies' lunch took fashions to the stage. Bright colours dominating the stakes, fascinators remaining the headpiece of choice.
There was distinct colours, electric blues, reds, whites. It's really jovial atmosphere here today, so it's been fantastic.
Elegant, classical and completely really contemporary. Lace, huge fascinators.
I do like a bit of a statement, and it's a big day, so it deserves a big hat, so why not?
I did cheat. I saw a photo online of a celebrity wearing the hat and went, yeah, that's a great hat. I think I need that.
The race that stops the nation.
Is there a horse race today? Sorry.
Not stopping the party. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
The RSPCA is capitalising on the hype of the Melbourne Cup to renew its push to ban whipping in the horse racing industry. A petition has been launched encouraging a more humane racing carnival.
There are a lot of Australians and Tasmanians that don't believe that whipping is needed in horse racing, and certainly you don't need to whip to get an outcome from a horse race.
Tasmania's RSPCA has 23 horses looking for a home, including ex-racehorses. More information can be found on the website. We return now to our breaking news on the helicopter crash at Hobart Airport. Our reporter Jacqueline Robson sent this report just a short time ago.
Well, Joe, the details are very scarce at the moment, but as you can see behind me, there are emergency services on the scene here at Hobart Airport at Cambridge. Now, it's understood it was a rotorlift aircraft that crashed on the tarmac just before 6 p.m, and it's understood 2 people have been injured in the crash. It's believed 1 is critical. Now, we spoke to witnesses earlier today, and they said that it's typically an area where rotorlift carries out practice runs. It's not clear if that's the case. Another witness we spoke to said that her husband was due to arrive here in Hobart, but has since been redirected to Launceston. Now, as you can imagine, all flights in and out of the airport have been suspended or cancelled for the night. We'll have more of an update when police hold a media conference at around 8:30. We'll provide you the full details on that tomorrow. Joe?
An 80-year-old woman has died in hospital after her car veered off a busy road in Newstead and into a power pole this afternoon. Police say the woman crossed onto the wrong side of Penquite Road and collided head-on with the pole just after 2:30. Speed has been ruled out as a contributing factor, and police are investigating whether a medical condition was the cause. The woman was the sole occupant of the car. The mother of an 11-year-old girl who was shot in the face in August has today been sentenced over a charge of harassment. Sarah Newett of Deloraine had previously failed to attend the Launceston Magistrates Court in relation to the charge last month because her daughter, Phoebe Newett, was still receiving treatment in a Melbourne hospital. The court heard the mother of 3 had threatened to squeeze the eyeballs out of a small child and feed them to the dogs. The police prosecutor said Newett's threats made via mobile phone to her brother's partner at the time were offensive and caused harm. Magistrate Sharon Cure described the case as bizarre before sentencing the 30-year-old to a 2-year good behaviour bond. Labor's Joe Seeker has been officially confirmed as the new Upper House member for Pembroke. The Electoral Commission held a declaration of the poll on the steps of the Legislative Council this morning. Unsuccessful Liberal candidate James Walker offered his congratulations. Joe Seeker joins 3 other Labor members in the Upper House.
The 4 of us sat down this morning and talked about some of the bills that will be before us next week and doing a bit of preparation work with Jo, and she's got some work to do now in preparation, as do we all.
There's a lot I need to get my head around, but I'm really keen to get my head around that and get down to business and just be prepared ahead of next week.
The New Look Legislative Council will sit next Tuesday. The Marriage Equality Postal Survey is now officially closed after almost 2 months of campaigning. Those in support of same-sex marriage are calling for further support services. Advocates say the public vote gave rise to a nasty hate campaign.
We can easily count the votes in the postal survey, but we also need to count the cost of some of the prejudice and hatred that we've seen on the mental health of lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender Australians.
If there is a yes vote, there's going to be a lot of effort to try and ensure that religious freedom is protected and the rights of parents to choose the education of their children is protected. And at this stage, Australia's laws are pretty weak on those issues.
The result of the same-sex marriage survey will be announced on November 15. Medical professionals are urging Tasmanians to take a simple test to detect the early signs of bowel cancer. Across the country, our state has the highest death rate from the disease, and most people aren't taking part in free screening.
This is Mona's Cloaca, the art installation that mimics a human digestive system. It's today's quirky test subject for a stunt highlighting how easy it is to screen for bowel cancer.
I'm going to dip this in exactly like I'm doing an oil change, checking it that deep. I put it in and I click it shut.
You don't need to fish poo out of the toilet, you don't need to touch it with your hands. It's just poking, it's just into the poo while it's still in the toilet bowl. It's really easy.
But despite how simple it is, only 60% of those eligible for the test complete it. It can be a lifesaver, detecting tiny particles of blood that could be an early sign of bowel cancer.
150 people approximately die of bowel cancer each year in Tasmania, and we want to reduce that rate by raising the awareness of this important, significant test.
Have abnormalities investigated early when tumours are small or precancerous lesions. And that way treatment's a lot more effective and survival rates are a lot higher.
The home testing kit is offered for free to 50 to 74-year-olds. You can find more information from a GP or pharmacist. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
A visually impaired teenager is preparing to endure some of the state's toughest terrain in a bid to raise $35,000 for Guide Dogs Tasmania. Jonathan Clark will attempt the 20-kilometre triple top mountain run this weekend with his father and says his motivation is helping others.
Jonathan is about to brave one of the state's most gruelling mountain runs. The 14-year-old hopes his efforts will raise funds for a cause close to his heart.
I hope to raise funds for guide dogs so other people who are blind to get more dogs.
Jonathan Clark is partially blind and lives with a brain disorder. On Sunday, he will run with his father on the 20-kilometre course at the Triple Top Mountain Run. His motivation to pay it forward.
Those people who haven't got anything to do something constructive, active, and do it with your heart.
My wife and I are just really so proud of him. He's really starting to grow and his horizons are starting to expand.
Proud parents Lisa and Paul Clark says his determination is inspiring.
This has been quite a difficult thing for him, and but we've worked together, and he's really done a lot of training, and I believe that he's going to achieve his goal.
There are 18 working guide dogs in Tasmania, with 16 puppies currently in training.
The number of people waiting for guide dogs is always growing, so when people like Jono get involved in fundraising for us and spreading the word, we're just so grateful.
All the money Jonathan raises will go directly to training guide dogs in the state. Anyone wanting to support Jonathan can make a donation online. Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
Now a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The share market is at its highest level in almost 10 years as stronger oil and iron ore prices drove a big day of gains. The ASX 200 index has risen by 60.5 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 76.79 US cents and at 66.15 euro cents.
An interstate team has gone 1-2 in the Tour of Tasmania's opening stage. Mobius future racing teammates Peter Livingston and Angus Lyons claiming top honours in a dominant display. The only thing more spectacular than the northeast scenery was Peter Livingston's powerful performance. Aggression, the name of the game. Livingston formed part of a three-man breakaway early in today's stage, and nearly every spoil went his way. The 20-year-old winning the first and second King of the Mountain, while claiming second place in both sprints, earning big bonuses on the points tally. The dominant display had the peloton well out of reach. There, more than a dozen Tasmanians jostled to stay in the running. Launceston's Tom Robinson among the strongest in the saddle, his pace matched by fellow Tasmanians Jonathan Butler, Jacob Langham, Luke Thompson and Zach Johnson. By the Batman Bridge, Mobius had the competition's measure, Livingston and teammate Angus Lyons gunning it to Grindelwald, leaving behind a tightly packed peloton. When more than 100 kilometres of road racing came to an end, barely a second separated Livingston from Lyons at the finish line.
What a win by the Mobius future racing boys.
The pair savouring sweet success.
There we go, Peter Livingston.
I wanted to be aggressive. I was ecstatic to get up the road. Once I got there, I went, wow, this is hard. But I had a teammate and we kept rolling all the way to the finish.
We always had a plan to go out there and take it on early and try and, get at least two of us up the road.
Race organisers say it was one of the most assertive efforts seen here in recent years.
And the two teammates to come across the line 1-2, they're going to be hard to beat in this race.
Riders will back it up in tomorrow's Stage 2, Launceston to Poatina.
Good evening. We saw scattered showers across the west and south today, while the rest of the state was fine and mostly sunny. Launceston had the state's high of 19 degrees, 17 was the top in Hobart and Burnie, Devonport was 16. Looking around the rest of the state today, it was 18 at Friendly Beaches, 16 at Lowhead, Bushy Park and St Helens, 15 degrees at Maria Island, Grove and Strawn and 10 at Lyoini. Here the satellite shows some mid to low level cloud across Tasmania, coastal Victoria and through the Bight. Closer in over the state we can see mid to low cloud over the west and south with some high cloud in the north, clearing through the morning. Tomorrow a high pressure system moves in over Tasmania during the day, with a cold front tracking to the south of the state through the evening and several troughs sitting over the north and west of the mainland. South to southwesterly winds reaching 20 to 30 knots in the lower east and south, swells to 3 metres in western and southern waters. A strong wind warning is current from Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point. Let's take a closer look around the state tomorrow. Hobart partly cloudy, a top of 21 degrees, cloudy and 18 for Geeveston, Bothwell 19. A sunny day for Launceston, 23 the top, Devonport sunny, 20, early frost clearing to a sunny day for Cressy. Burnie, a sunny 20 degrees, a possible light shower for Strawn, 16, 16 for Curry also. St Helens, sunny 23, 21 the top for Swansea and Orford. UV, a very high 8 across the state. Looking ahead to Thursday now, light showers about the west and far south, clearing in the afternoon. Elsewhere fine, apart from possible drizzle about the northeast and the western tiers. Friday, morning drizzle about the north and east, with some possible light afternoon showers. And a fine day expected on Saturday with light winds and afternoon sea breezes. Now let's take a look around the country tomorrow. Possible storms for Perth and Darwin, showers for Sydney and Brisbane, and a sunny day expected for Adelaide and Melbourne.
And that's all from the team for now. Good night.